We are on. Is this thing working? We are on. All right. I want to thank everybody for coming in this evening. Come on in to the show. 18 episodes in. Facts over feelings. Oh, I feel good today. Again, thank everybody for tuning in with us. I do have a special guest with me this evening. I have Mr. Jordan Roman, who's going to introduce himself. He's a brother I met about a year ago around this time. His organization that he's affiliated with put on a Voting Matters event at MATC. And I believe it was specifically geared towards Black men and just letting us know what the importance of voting is and why. And a really nice panel. I remember we had a guy, I forgot his name. He was from Nebraska. You remember him? He was like a consultant or something. I remember him telling this really neat story.
Was he like a mayor, like
something, yeah, some small town.
I honestly don't remember.
Okay,
I know you talking about.
Yeah, dude gave an inspiring story. I didn't even, realize what was going on in Nebraska about how they built this Black town, and it's almost like a Black Wall Street type situation going on there. I was like, whoa, yeah. So that was just great to hear. But since that time, I've gone to another event that your organization held. You guys did the event at the debate watch party.
Yep.
Down there at No Studios.
Yep.
Yeah, that was cool. That was my first ever time going to a debate watch party. I've never done that before. So that was amazing.
I mean, we do them here, but obviously with the election the last cycle with Senator Kamala Harris and obviously Trump, like the enthusiasm was way high for that last election. So we wanted to make sure that we did something that brought the community in. To be galvanized around that, to be engaged in the conversation, to know what's going on, and then have some robust conversation around what they thought. She honestly kicked his. Am I allowed to cuss?
Yes.
Yes.
I
don't know how the election went.
It was masterful, man.
It was a masterclass in debate.
God.
She really did.
Oh yeah. I knew she was gonna give it to him. I just didn't know she was gonna give it to him that cold. I mean, sliced and diced him the whole time. And I just always look back at that and say, man, look what could have been. We probably wouldn't be anywhere where we are right now had the election going that way. But Mr. Jordan, I'm gonna let you go ahead and introduce yourself, man, and then we can go ahead and get started.
Welcome to the show. My name is Jordan Roman. Thanks for having me.
Yes, sir.
Really appreciate it. Getting this platform to just talk around social advocacy and political issues, which are near and dear to my heart. Jordan Roman, born and raised here in Milwaukee, product of MPS, Milwaukee Spanish Immersion, Milwaukee School Languages from middle school and high school, part of the second graduating class in 01, giving my age a little bit. Undergrad in University of Minnesota Morris, grad school UWM, held a lot of various positions in the city of Milwaukee, with the city of Milwaukee and the health department for a quick stint, Wisconsin Community Services.
Myself included there. Okay, yeah. Got some connections there.
Got into corporate insurance for about 7 years. Then in 2020, dipped out of that and got into the world of consulting, more political advocacy. Tried my hand in some real estate or development. Lost some money after a couple of years, and now most currently as the chief operating officer for Education Wisconsin LLC. Near and dear. This is my city. I love it. I love what the city has to offer. We have a lot of issues here, obviously, a lot of political issues locally. But this is my city. My family's from here, and I just try to give back and do the best I can to help us move forward in a way that's productive for people who look like move that closer.
You move his mic closer a little bit? Okay.
I can sit up. Yeah.
Okay.
That better?
Right. Can you hear him better now?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. I'm just looking, checking, making sure we don't have any comments yet. Nobody on commenting yet. Okay. All right. Man, that's a great introduction there, man. But we got a lot in common. I see here. I was myself Milwaukee born and bred.
Pretty good school.
I've been here all my life. I went to Madison,
Okay.
class 04.
Oh, four.
Class
So we
04.
right around the same
Yeah,
age group too. Yeah,
right
you're
around
a
there.
little older, but-
Yeah, yep, right around there. And I worked at WCS for
Mhm.
11 years. So
still
man,
there
that is no, I'm not there now. I'm
Okay.
with the Department of Corrections now.
Okay.
I work on the side of probation and parole in our regional office now. So yeah, man, yeah. So great. It's just again great having you on. Thanks for accepting the invitation, man. So we're just gonna get into a couple of topics. I do want to focus on. Let's talk about the shutdown.
Yeah.
I want to talk about over what do you feel that the Dems did right or wrong here, and then we can take it local because I do want to get your spin on the upcoming governor's race
Mhm.
and see what you think about that. And before we went on, you announced yourself as being a registered Democrat.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Cool. So we got two liberals in the house. I'm a moderate liberal. Tay, I don't know what my engineer over here, Tay, I don't know what she would call herself. Would you call yourself all the way left, or what you say?
I have to stay over here.
You just,
Yeah.
okay.
There's always nuance in that too. You know,
Yeah.
I'm a registered Democrat, but like
Yeah.
I was saying, like you push me in the corner where you have to make me defend the current group of leadership,
Mhm.
Democratic leadership nationally, locally sometimes too.
Mhm.
But I think there's different stages. If anyone asks me, I like to say I'm a moderate Democrat too.
Okay.
Obviously, I believe in a lot of things, liberal and progressive causes, but there's some conservatism in the Black community in general.
Oh yes,
I'm
definitely.
a lot more fiscally conservative than I think most people realize.
Mhm.
And I think that we should allow ourselves that nuance within the community to have those conversations.
And I love what you just said. There's definitely a lot of fiscally conservative Black folk out here, and I don't think, it doesn't. It goes unnoticed a lot. But we are really, folks are we are really fiscally conservative. We really are. And I think if we had an opportunity to be more involved in these fiscal matters, I think things will probably be a whole lot better.
Yeah.
Because as we see what's going on now, it's just horrible.
True.
So what's your take on the shutdown, man? Do you feel, because I had originally put out there that at first I thought the Democrats had folded.
Yeah.
We open up, but I just recently took that back. I did some research, kind of looked at some things, and I says, okay, that wasn't a fold per se. What's your take on it?
Well, first of all, it's a lose-lose situation. As is custom in this country, especially around Democratic parties, and the communication arm of the Democratic Party is we're going to lose either way. Either way it went, it was bad for us. It was bad for the Democratic Party. So they really, in my opinion, I think that we should have held out a little bit longer.
Okay.
And I say that again as someone who is not a federal employee, who is not, taking advantage of the services that are provided with food stamps and SNAP benefits.
Okay.
So I say that with a breath of privilege that I'm not in that situation where I need that. But at the same time, the Democratic Party for a long time, especially recently, has capitulated, in my opinion, to especially this part of the leadership right now, to this authoritarian administration right now. It feels like to me that the leadership has not stepped up to the plate to demand more, to do more, to advocate for the communities that they serve. Right.
I got my issues with Chuck Schumer a lot.
Yeah. Gosh.
Whole lot.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't fall into that whole Dem thing in its entirety, because I definitely think that a lot of them are old and they need to step aside.
Well, that's generational for across the board in leadership.
Yeah.
Our leadership in every facet, every sector of life right now is completely too old for me.
Yeah.
The world has changed so quickly and so fast now that the leadership needs to change with it. And I feel like the old guard in a lot of different areas are just holding on for dear life and not giving up and relinquishing those.
Selfish. It's selfish.
There you go.
Yes. And self-serving. Yeah.
Because they don't even they're too far outside of what's going on right now. This is a whole different time zone. So.
And not even that, it's especially as Senator Schumer.
Yeah.
They're so beholden to the corporate class now.
Yeah.
There's so much money and they're so whatever
Pelosi for sure.
Right. Whatever the big money power players say is what they kind of get into. And that's Schumer I feel like Schumer has been like that for a long time. Whenever you're in a Senate for 30, 40 years, you're pretty much in bed with those people in the first place. So I think it's time
True.
for a dramatic shift across the board in leadership.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think that we have nationally a lot of Democratic leaders who are being outspoken and who are doing things and kind of moving the way that the community needs them to move now.
Mhm.
So it's just a matter of time before that old guard kind of gets out the way. And you're starting to see the cracks. Former Speaker Pelosi is retiring at the end of this year.
Mhm.
Yeah, she's done.
Even Representative Jeffries, Speaker of the House, Minority Speaker of the House. I was very excited about his leadership.
Yes.
Leadership
Yeah.
came in,
Yeah.
but I feel like he's now gravitated more to that. I'm going to stand in the interest of the corporate interests and those of the big power money players versus, hey, I'm in this for the community. I'm representing a district, a multicultural district in New York City.
Mhm.
I need to be representing the voice of what they're saying.
Mhm.
So to
Mhm.
see him kind of waver in the way he has over this last few months with this shutdown has been very concerning for me. But I think he's starting to find his way that way because, again, there's been some tricklings in the air that the tide is shifting on what's happening right now.
Mhm.
That leadership is going to have to change or they're going to, unfortunately, get voted out.
Yeah, I mean, we just seen that with this last election there in New York with Mandami. It's like I was shocked. I literally I've never paid attention to another city's mayoral race ever, other than this last time with New York. I watched it from the start and beginnings. I'm thinking, okay, with Adams doing what he totally disappointed me. His whole thing. I was like, dude, really? Come on, that's how you going out? So then when Cuomo entered, I'm thinking, okay, Mandami ain't got a chance. When that man won them primaries, I was like, whoa, okay, something, because he kind of snuck up like from behind him and just like boom. I was like, whoa.
I think they all can thank Trump for that though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because as soon as he says he on their side, they done. They're done. Overnight.
Yeah.
Which is why Cuomo made a
Yeah,
disastrous
he did.
decision to seek the endorsement of Trump.
Yeah. That was,
I didn't know if he asked for that.
He
did.
didn't per se ask for it, not that I'm aware of, but
Yeah.
he openly welcomed it and
Yeah.
he tried to align himself with those who voted for Trump.
Yeah.
Some of the campaign ads.
Yeah,
So
and he definitely didn't shirk away from it. Which
But
Hey.
his PR should have.
Yeah, talk about not reading the room.
Yeah,
Right? Like,
yeah,
come
that
on
was
now.
man, yeah.
But that's part of that old guard. They're so entrenched in their ways, and they
Yeah.
think that the way they see the world is the way it is as it is, and the world has changed so much right under their noses that they're just haven't caught up with the times. So
Definitely.
they're inoculated by it. So.
Yeah, definitely. And with him winning, they kind of brand him as a democratic socialist. So I'm like, okay, cool, but there's nothing wrong with the policies. And I literally read up on what he was trying to do. I don't know why people make such a big hay about it. It's stuff that it's policies that people can benefit off of.
Yeah.
Especially for folks that look like you and I. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with it with backing a democratic socialist. I don't know what the boogeyman thing fear is about it, but it's just
Rather that than a
to me.
pedophile, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. I think that has to do, and this is where I sit on it. The American collective, we're not educated enough on history.
mhm.
We don't understand. If you go into a bar and you're having these political back and forth, and you sit down and ask them, what does socialism mean? What does communism mean?
Can't tell
What are
you.
these? They couldn't tell you
No.
an in-depth, real reason or real answer to what that actually means. So I
Mhm.
think not having that information.
We had a
is
black
part of the
conservative
issue.
sitting next to you. Right, he sat right there.
Oh, did he?
Oh yeah, well, I've been trying to get him back.
He swore he was a conservative, but he didn't know what that meant.
Right, and
We broke it down for him. He could not.
He did not know. He
That's the
thought
problem.
because he had a bank account, he knew about his credit. Like it's not a conservative, sir.
Right, and
That's you being responsible adult.
And then when I have these conversations, like I ask, what's the history of conservatism? What does conservatism mean? You are conserving the tenets of something that was before you, right? Traditional values, whatever it is. So I'm not saying they don't have their merit in their own right, but it's the opposite of progressing. Progressing doesn't mean you're this raging liberal. It means that you are looking forward to the future and trying to get a sustainable path for progressive lifestyle, right? Versus
Correct.
I'm going to go back into the past and try to adhere to these things that have been whatever the status quo was, which again is part of the generational shift that we have, where the old guard is hanging on for a world that they used to know and love, and it's just not here anymore. So we have to be cognizant of that, but it goes back to the information. Like when I have these conversations, let's set a baseline. What information are you coming to the table with? Because I used to get into these debates with people all the time, and they spend all my energy around political issues, around policy, which I'm very informed in. And but then I was wasting energy and space in there because you're not coming to the table with even the baseline of information that I have. So go do some information. I'll provide you some information, some educational resource links, and then come back to me in a couple of days. Let's have a conversation. But until you do that, it's not incumbent on me to have those conversations with a lot of people.
Yeah.
And there's some debate
definitely
there
have to
too.
learn that. Definitely have to learn that. During the whole entire election, I felt like it was misinformation
so much.
Because it was too much.
Yeah.
But they the Russians said they did that on purpose.
Right.
Oh yeah. Right. No, definitely. You had all those bots going in, and it was just
there's bots everywhere.
It was just wow.
Everywhere.
Wow. And then you have other people sharing it, doing those same speaking points, not even knowing that, dude, you've been used, that's those not even your real thoughts. You're just saying it because you've seen somebody else post it, or you seeing it, right? You're hearing it being said over and over again. So, that's fact. No, it's not. No, it's not. But yeah, man, I was elated to see that, because that let me know, that gave me a little bit more hope that people do still believe and people still understand that voting matters. And we got to see that again when folks exercise that right, that power. We saw what happened.
Well, no, what happened was something was taken from them, and then they felt the reaps of that. So I think
that too,
the Democrats actually allowing SNAP to be impacted, that's what got those votes out, because they didn't think it could happen. They need to feel it.
Right.
So, not just hear that it can happen. They need to feel it.
Actually,
So that week without, because I know this for a fact, we did at the restaurant, we gave away free meals for the entire community due to that, just to be proactive. We served 250 people. The next week after they had got the SNAP, it dwindled down. Right. You know what I mean? Because they felt secure again. Right. But they didn't know where that meal was coming from. So
and then here's the thing. That was extended through the end of the year, I think. I think at the end of this year, they're going back into it.
January.
So that to me, going back to the original question around the Democrats and how they're acting, right? They gave up all their leverage this time around. So when the same CR or the continuing resolution comes up again in January, whenever it comes up, what is going to be their leverage point in the negotiation? What are they going to be able to give up this time? I don't agree that we should have necessarily held out. Well, I'm saying I do agree that we should have held out on the holdout for as long as we did, 41 days. I think it ended up being. I think we should have held out a little bit longer. Again, I'm not taking advantage of those benefits, but that was the leverage point that we got to do a couple of different things in my estimation. It got to show that the administration was willing to do anything and everything, and hurt actual people who needed the most to get their needs.
Yes.
Right. So that's the first thing. Right?
Yes.
Then the second thing that it did was it gave Democrats a reason to jump back in bed or to support the Democratic Party, who for years we have not felt has been doing our bidding or the bidding on our behalf, right? So it gave us some sense of hope that they were actually going to get out there and fight, which to their credit, they did for 40 days. That's a long time for.
Well, it was only 8 of them that did that flip, and it was cool because that a couple of them. Don't quote me on this, but I think they said they were retiring.
Yep.
So it was almost like a cop out anyways.
Had nothing to lose.
Yeah. And then you never know. A couple months from now, we'll find out they got paid out or something. Who knows?
Well, I mean, if you're again looking down the rabbit hole, like the 8 of those senators, I think they all had some kind of funding from, and I don't want to give misinformation in this thing, but each one of those 8 senators had some kind of dealing with either a corporate donor who was involved, especially I think it was New Mexico, one of the states, and then both of their senators who voted for it. Both of them were in bed with one of the big corporate donors who was responsible for it. So
that makes sense.
Money in politics, that's usually what it is. And, we'll find out down the line what each senator had over their head that caused them to do it.
Definitely. Yeah.
So, but I think it still puts us in a great position, though, for just voting moving forward.
Vote? Oh, yeah. We can definitely run on that. Now, that's something we can continue to run on.
You said you want to be hungry or you want to eat?
The proof is in the pudding. I mean, while we were shut down, Trump was giving what they call a Great Gatsby party over in Florida. you know, with endless shrimp, lobster, steak. You know, they was having a ball.
And cages,
Dances and cages, aerobatic swimming, all kind of, you know, stuff. It's like, man, it was wild. But what's funny to me is that he did it in people's face.
Yeah.
He didn't care.
Well, he doesn't care.
And his supporters is like, oh, okay, but you really don't know where your next meal is coming from. Like that don't matter to you at all. Like that don't
Even
sway
them
you at all?
flipping on the whole Epstein thing, like, oh, they were 15. The kids were 15, not 8, not 4. Like, what?
I mean, but dude,
a kid
you know,
is a kid.
But what the Republican Party has shown me now is that they are willing to do
anything.
To remain racist
to-
out loud.
That's part of
Because
it.
that's what that is.
But they're willing to do anything to retain power, to
Oh yes.
keep in power, to keep those people who have it.
Yep.
And that's just what we're going to do, no matter what it is. But again, you're starting to see cracks, like this
Mhm.
Epstein files. We can get into that a little bit later. They're starting to show a lot of cracks. Even Representative Major Marjorie Taylor
Yeah.
Greene, she's coming out of where I don't trust her at all.
Well, they said that's because they
man.
refused to put, you know, she was trying to move up.
Mhm.
So that's
She's
what
trying to
they said.
represent it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They said she's just upset.
Trying to run against Ossoff. That's up next there in Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I just wanted to add one more thing to that piece of the conversation was around. There was a third thing. So what has not been a part of as much of the conversation, I think, is what's going to happen with the Affordable Care Act.
Oh yeah.
Right. That was the other piece of this whole fight. Was basically you're going to get food payment for food, or you're going to have access to affordable health care. Right. So now with those subsidies essentially ending now, Americans are going to have a hard time. They're starting to see that now because they're enrolling now for next year.
Right.
Those prices are jumping up sky high.
3
right
times
now,
high.
Oh yeah.
right? So beginning of next year, when those policies go into effect, a lot of people who don't necessarily look like us, a lot of white people are going to come in there and say, what the hell is going on?
Yeah.
Right? And that's going to cause another major shift. And that could be a leverage point for the Democrats to spend the next time. We'll see. I don't think that it has the same credence as holding out for SNAP benefits, but it's something that Americans are going to see. Like, I can't afford for my insurance rates to go up $1,000 a month. Like, that's going to be crazy. So that's going to be happening, and we don't hear enough about it now because people are just getting those going through the enrollment process. But come January 1st, February 1st, when those bills start to hit the fan, that's where you're going to see a lot more dissatisfaction with the overall community.
We needed all of this though.
Yeah,
I think it needed to happen.
We needed it.
Yeah, it needed to be flipped on his head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to see what can happen.
And you know, the sad part about it is, again, you can't say you weren't warned. He's literally go read Project 2025. He's literally checking off the boxes. Literally, he's going down a checklist, and they're checking off everything, like everything. You know,
I didn't check into Steve Bannon. He was saying that if they impeach him, we're all going to prison. What do you guys know what he was exactly talking about? What for?
Who's all going to prison?
He said that they were all going to prison.
Oh,
yeah, I saw that. Yeah,
legal stuff.
Well, yeah, I didn't know if it was like exactly something, because I know that, what was it, $5 billion that was missing? They said they were going to take it out of that one fund. Remember, the judge told them to give that SNAP money up.
Yes,
and they need to take it out of a fund, and it wasn't there.
Well, they've been illegally doing stuff since they got into office.
She said it was the account was empty.
So I don't that probably is empty, and we don't know where it is because there has been no accountability or transparency with what this administration is doing with the money of the people. But I think what he was really alluding to is just in general, if we get into power, Democrats get into power in the next election, midterm election,
take over Congress,
control of the House and Congress, we're going to be subpoenaing a lot of people, and a lot of investigations are going to start. And we're finding, which we already know because a lot of stuff that are going through the courts right now are coming back. I think just today there were 2 lawsuits today that were dropped on their face because they didn't have the legal merit to go forward.
Yes.
So to Steve Bannon's to his comments, there's going to be a lot of people going to jail.
So for them to follow behind him this time was crazy.
A lot of illegal stuff happening.
What's up, Stacey?
That we don't have. Again, regular people are not in the weeds. We don't really know what's happening. But these lawyers and these judges that are happening, these lawsuits, I think he has over like 200 or some odd open lawsuits right now just against him personally. and half of those are been dismissed, and the other half he's been found guilty or liable for. So it's a lot of stuff happening that we just haven't been paying attention to. If you're a nerd like me, you pay attention to it.
Yeah, no, we do. Look.
Right.
Oh yeah, we do. We definitely do. I know one
Yeah.
for sure. One ruling came back down today. It was in regards to James Comey, the James Comey case.
That was one of the cases I was, yeah.
Yep. They were saying that they did some, which it don't surprise me. They illegally, I think the process that they took to charge him was done illegally, and some other things in there. And the other one was the SNAP benefit case too. There was, and I forgot, and I read it right before I got here too. That ruling came back as well. That's saying that they need to fund it or find the money for it.
No, they took it.
Right.
That's why I thought Steve Bannon was talking about that. There were some people that they took it, they divided it or something.
Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff. Because at first he was saying they were going to give him half the money,
right?
And then some of the states sued him because they had that money. So it's a lot of back and forth, and that to me is strategic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
The Trump administration is purposely just throwing grenade bombs out there
Mm-hmm.
to get people off the scent of what they're actually doing,
Correct.
causing chaos.
Yes.
People don't know which way to look and which way to go.
Mm-hmm.
And in the meantime, under the current, they're just doing all this nefarious stuff right now. But I think anytime that happens, eventually it comes to an end. Unfortunately, to your point, it's going to take a lot of us. It's going to get hurt, which we may need, but a lot of us are going to get hurt in the meantime until this all gets.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Be a whole lot of bestseller books coming out.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. I think we're gonna be uncovering a whole lot of boo boo. Once if in case, which I think is a great chance that it's going to happen, but these midterm elections going to turn some things over, and we get the liberals back in power with the House and Senate, and we're going to see, like you said, investigation, and that's what Steve Bannon was referring to, because he knows they're going to be relentless now,
Because the week before he's all like, "Oh, Trump's going to be the president in 2028. He's going to be the president."
I mean, I don't think so.
He's going to run
Right.
again in 2028.
Likewise, I don't. Yeah.
But you never know.
Absolutely not.
You never know. And I
He
joke.
won't even live that long. I'm sure this stress is probably beyond it.
We'll see. I hope not. But
You see how Mitch McConnell just falling out every time you ask him a real question?
That's the way to cop out for real. I'm gonna ask you a question, just fall out.
He be hitting the floor too.
Oh no, I'm out. Yeah, but okay. Well, Jordan, love to hear that perspective on the on the shutdown. It's ended technically right now, like you said, but we'll be
right
back in the same spot next year. Come January, we'll be right here. So, I want to see what their strategy is. I want to see what the strategy is this time. What they can use to go forward, and what kind of messaging we're gonna have. But man, yeah, that was something else. So let's bring it. Let's bring it local real quick. I know it's early, but who would you think out of the pool of people that are running for governor? Who would you pick out of there? What did you think is who's your horse in the race right now?
So, can we get a list of those people? Like I know a handful of them. The names I know there is the lieutenant governor is running in.
Yeah.
What remind me her name again? I'm making a point around great name recognition and community involvement, right?
Yes.
I know there is another young lady who is something. My point is the biggest person on the Democratic side right now, who I believe is a great candidate, is obviously our county executive, Crowley.
Yes.
He's been doing a lot of great work countywide, but statewide. He's really leveraged his relationships he's had on both sides of the party throughout these many years, making deals to improve the county. I actually am someone who believes that the county has improved under his administration in the last few years around the development opportunities, different things that are happening. I guess I could say the same thing about Mayor Chevy Johnson. I think there's some issues for sure.
Oh yes.
But as far as if you look at a tenure of an administration and what the goals are, if you actually know what his goals were to expand and increase the viability of Milwaukee to grow in the development areas, he's actually made some real progress around that. But as far as governor, I think that Crawley right now is the person that I'm definitely
Absolutely.
looking forward to really to make some move there.
Yes.
The biggest
Likewise.
question for me is, what does that look like statewide,
Mm-hmm.
right? And as a Black man, and as successful as he's been, as diplomatic as he has shown himself to be,
Mhm.
as smart and just well-rounded in the relationships that he's built across the state, is Wisconsin really gonna do what's right and vote for a young Black male,
Mhm.
city-born Black male to lead the state?
Mhm.
I hope so.
Mhm.
We will see. A lot of it depends on what he does in his campaign. I think he's developed a good team right now, from what I've heard.
Yes.
He's out there in the community. He's doing what he has to do, and we'll see. And the other candidates, I couldn't name the other four.
I'm gonna name them for you. I'm gonna name them. I'm
It's
gonna,
just gonna be wasting your time.
I'm gonna name up. So of course we got Mr. County Executive David Crawley.
Yep.
We got Missy Hughes, former
Yeah.
State Economic Development Head, former State Representative Brett Hulsey.
Mhm.
We got our current Lieutenant Governor Sarah Rodriguez.
That's what it is, Sarah Rodriguez.
Yep.
Great. I've met her a couple times. Great. I think she's doing awesome as Lieutenant Governor. But as far as, is she going to galvanize and engage and activate the community to vote for her that way? Maybe. But as far as name recognition, and I'm in politics,
Yeah, got
I
you.
know it. Like, that
Gotcha.
name didn't jump to the top of my mind right
Gotcha.
away. So that should say something.
Gotcha. Then on the Republican side, we got Washington County Executive Josh Showman. Another person, we got Democrat Ryan Strand. He's a longtime beer vendor at American Family Field. Republican U.S. Rep Tom Tiffany. And then that's it for what I can pull up. So yeah.
Sounds like Crawley's got it.
Well, I'm hearing something else. We kind of talked about it with Michelle. I don't know if you heard of Michelle Bryant before,
Oh, yeah.
WNOV.
Yep.
She was on the show. We kind of talked about this issue, not issue, but this little thing that may be coming up is some talk about Mandela Barnes entering. And people were saying, it was kind of like,
for me.
yeah.
I'll tell you why we'll get there.
Yeah, people were kind of like,
Not
because,
everybody that sat over there said the same thing, the same way.
yeah, because people were like, okay, so you got, is he going to take away from, Crawley's, crowd, or what's up? I kind of feel the same way, honestly. I think you had your shot. When you tried to take out Ron Johnson, who's running for Senate, and I think his time has passed. I think he should not get into the race and pull all this support. We need as much support we can.
Yeah.
If we're gonna back Crowley, we're gonna push him. I think that's what we should do. What's your take on?
Yeah, I agree.
Former
I
Lieutenant
think that's what
Governor
we should do.
Barnes.
We should coalesce around a winning strategy for a winning candidate, which I think that County Executive probably is. Unfortunately for us, when we have that kind of candidate who we could all ideally get behind, the powers that be figure out a way to split that vote. And with Mandela Barnes having that name recognition, he ran a great campaign. I supported him.
Mhm.
I think I know him personally. I think he's a great guy. I think he would have been a great senator. I think he would be a good governor if he decided to do that. But to your point, I think that time is gone for him.
Mhm.
And if he was going to make that run, I feel like he probably should have been more visible from that loss to now, which tells me that there wasn't a long-term plan for him to run for governor this time around, which is fine. He has every right to not do that or to do that. If he decides to get in, I think it'll be something that the powers again that be are trying to split that vote and dilute the support that's going to go for Crawley as a viable candidate who can potentially win that election.
Crawley can. I really do believe Crawley can do it, man. I think he can. He can also go up in the rural areas of the state and talk to some people, man. And I really do think he can make that and get that bridge across there. I think he can do it.
I hope so. I mean,
Gotta have a good team behind him.
He has a record again. He can run on what he's actually done in office as county executive. And this takes me back to when Governor Scott Walker came out of the county executive office. Right. So having tangible wins across the state, because when you are the executive leader for the biggest city in the state, you're the economic engine for the state. Obviously, you're building relationships across the state and you're building those relationships. So he was able to leverage himself and also being a racist asshole too.
Yes,
To get that
yes.
vote, but he was able to leverage that. So I think Crowley can do the same thing, leveraging that office into success across the statewide partnerships. So.
Yeah, and that was a concern for me at first with Crawley and was getting in. I'm like, oh, is the white folks here? Is going, is they gonna like this? Is they gonna be?
So
able
is
to
it not a
see
thing
that?
where Mandela, where he can kind of like partner or
Partner,
not partner, but you know, kind of back him? Because like you said, if he kind of disappeared, I'm not gonna say disappeared, but if he kind of fell back
yeah,
Mhm.
after he lost,
yeah.
then it possibly wasn't your thing. Like you're kind of over it. So can he show his support by, you know, backing him because he would be the
He
strongest
could.
candidate? Right?
Absolutely show support, and I
Absolutely.
think
Well, maybe everyone should pitch for him to do that.
I think so. I know Mandela, and Mandela's smart.
Mhm.
Mandela has a smart team behind him, which I think is part of the issue, you know, in politics. And luckily, I'm not a politician, right? But when your name is out there, that's good for your politics. Whatever his next, in my opinion, whatever his next iteration is in life, whatever he's going to do, this is some free airspace for him to get some credence behind. So I think that is a
Mhm.
strategy. It would be if I was in the campaign, that would be a strategy on their part to do that. But I think ultimately, I don't think that he's going to get in and run. I think he understands the dynamics. I think he understands, having run statewide, some of the characteristics and things that were barriers for him. And I would assume and hope that he wouldn't want to be a part of another barrier for another viable candidate who could actually win that office. I think at some point
Mhm.
he'll come out and endorse.
Good.
Or not, but
You're right.
No, I think that
Or
would be
not,
cool.
yeah.
That would be great.
Yeah.
We're not. No, we're not. So, Mr. County Executive, if you're watching, I want you on here, man. I want you on. I'm gonna try to find a way to get him on here.
I think Stacy said he lived down the street from.
Okay. We're gonna get Mr. County Executive on here. I'm gonna get him on here, man. You got free publicity, man. You come here, so yeah.
Yeah, we just everyday people over here.
Right. So we're gonna try to get him. We're gonna try to definitely
small
get him
fry.
on. You're right. We're gonna try to get him on, man. I would love to have him over and just have him talk up his campaign and what he's running on, why.
Give me a heads up. I gotta get my new furniture.
I'm gonna reach out. I'm gonna find a way in. Definitely, I'm gonna find a way in. And I see Stacy is on. I do want to hype up Mr. Stacy Smiter. He's running for county supervisor in District 7. He's out here grinding every day. Y'all, please follow him, Stacy Smiter. He's trying to unseat an incumbent, I think 6-year incumbent there with Felicia Martin, who's the incumbent district supervisor there. So I just want to shout out Stacy, who's on with us tonight watching. Y'all go check him out. Just go to his page, Stacy Smiter. He's got a bunch of literature on there about why he's running, what he's trying to do, what he's focusing on, what he wants to bring to the table for the constituents of District 7 of county supervisor. So y'all go check him out, man. Me and Stacy are alumni of Madison class of 04. So I'm always back my peoples. So go ahead, Stacy, man. Do your thing, man. Do your thing. So looking at Crawley, looking at the state of our politics. So I want to touch base real quick on, I know you mentioned the mayor, Johnson, which I am a fan of. I didn't like this last budget bill that he presented. I was kind of like, okay, what's going on here? What's your take on that?
Stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Okay.
The budget that was outlined and agreed upon, and there's going to be some revenue increases and taxes around that. What we have to understand is that the city of Milwaukee is broke.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think a lot of people really understand when I say that, like the real depth of, like, we have no money. We're trying to find different ways to increase revenues so that we can pay for a lot of the services that we are entitled to pay for, but also at the same time reduce some of the expenses across the city that we have to do, while trying to also find ways to invest in areas that need it. So I think that the budget is, in any administration, is an outline of what your values are, and I feel like if you look at it wholly, I feel like the budget is representative of what the mayor is trying to do and accomplish here.
Okay.
Now,
going
back to we don't have any money. When you got bills, somebody got to pay those bills off.
Right.
The only way to really do that is for us to increase our taxable revenue. so that we can spread the cost
I
around.
have a
Yeah.
question.
Okay.
I don't know who knows the answer, but
Hmm.
why don't we allow people to purchase these vacant properties and pour into those properties? Because we have 1 billion of those.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's income that's just sitting
It
there,
is.
right
It's
there.
just sitting.
It's just sitting there.
Again, another selfish moment because why?
Yeah. So as related to the budget, I do believe that there is some allocated funds that are going to be specifically for housing related development projects. I don't know exactly how much that is, but I think there is some investment that is coming out from at the city level to really start to look at how do we invest in those houses.
Even the buildings like Milwaukee Mall sitting there like that
Yeah,
that's
it's
crazy.
So I don't have a direct answer other than to say it's very expensive to do that. A lot of the houses that are vacant and available for purchase, and they were trying to do like these dollar deals.
Mhm.
A lot of people don't
Mhm.
realize that you get that lot for $1, whatever it is, but it costs $110,000 just to bring it online, right? And if you don't have, I think it's 30 or 50% of that upfront, like if you don't have that $50,000 in the bank, then the city's not going to let you have that property because you can't afford to put it into the money that is going to be required to fix it. And then the other part of that is once you do fix that, you spend just say $110,000 just to bring it up to code.
Right.
The market of that house is only $115,000. So you're doing all that work and putting that in just to make a $5,000 profit off the house. Is it needed? Yes. Do I think that the city should be doing more innovative, creative ideas to help bring that on through tax incentive structures and different things that help mitigate some of those costs? Absolutely. To me, that goes to a failure in leadership. And we were talking about leadership. I don't believe that the city, as I just said, I love Chevy, I love the work he's doing. I don't believe that the city of Milwaukee has a leadership that is courageous enough to really tackle housing head on right now.
Mhm.
When you look around just regionally what's happening, when you look at Indianapolis, look at Minneapolis, Minnesota, and St. Paul, even when you're looking at some of the northern cities of Chicago, they're doing a lot of different stuff creatively with the city financing some of the home ownership and home development costs to help bring those cities and those homes back online. I feel like Milwaukee is just now starting to have those conversations, probably in the last 5-6 years. That's good. The bad part about that is Indianapolis was having that conversation 15 years ago.
Yeah,
Now
development.
we're already starting to see it.
Definitely ahead of us.
Minneapolis was having that conversation 20 years ago. They're doing a lot of stuff.
Yes.
Madison, Wisconsin, if you guys haven't been paying attention, and I've been preaching this for a while, I would love for Mayor Johnson to get in a room, closed door with the mayor of Madison and figure out what the hell they're doing over there and how we can bring that and sell it here in Milwaukee, because they're doing a lot of creative stuff. They're using actual city money and funding Acre Graduates. If you guys are not aware of that, that's the Associate Commercial Real Estate. I'm a graduate of the Acre program just this year, and that's an emerging developers of color course where they're teaching young developers of color how to get into the real estate game and development game, which is we've been doing it here, I think, since 2006 or something like that. So it's been a lot of years, and there's a lot of graduates, over 300, that are doing some very great things in the city of Milwaukee. But I think what Madison has done was found a way to systematize it and encouraging Acre grads and other developers to come here and say, we're going to give you money. And here are some lots, and here's some different things that you can do that we're going to lie to build.
Oh, well, congratulations to you.
Yeah, I'm not in that. I am an Acre graduate, but I'm not doing that.
But
stuff,
you,
right?
but you graduated though.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So I think that those are the different ideas around courageous leadership that we need to start seeing. There's an innovative idea that they're doing that's showing success. Right?
That's the part though.
Mhm.
It's the and because I'm a visionary, so that I do a lot, and I can connect the dots pretty quickly. You know what I mean? And just from where I am, I haven't done any of that she's talking about,
Right.
but it's always I'm always taken aback by the amount of people that are around each other that can help each other.
Yep.
That just choose not to, and it hinders us from moving forward. Period.
Yep.
Just the lack of innovation.
Yeah. So the innovation is a piece of it. The courageous leadership is another piece of it. But I also want to, when I'm saying these conversations, the other side of that we cannot forget is there is always white racism and a stopgap there that tries to prevent us from.
Oh, yes.
in the city of Milwaukee.
Definitely.
And if you understand
Definitely.
the history of racism and discrimination in Milwaukee and how it permeates through the day, you will have a fully understanding of what that actually means
Yeah.
in a political world, in a development world, in a revenue and capital raising world,
Mhm.
where you have these entrenched developers, mostly white and experienced, who are doing these different things, and you have these emerging developers of color who have this experience and have this education now and are trying to break in. They might select one or two of them to get through, but then there's this resistance from communities surrounding Milwaukee
Mhm.
that post up as barriers for us to really do that. So that's where the fight is. That's where the political fight is, and that's why I always go back to we have to have courageous leadership that's willing to combat that head on.
Mhm.
I haven't seen that as consistently that I would like to see on the city level to do that to this point.
Because honestly, when Mayor Johnson won, because of his previous work, even before he was common council president, when he was an alderman, he did a lot of work with vocation and employment. I was working at a federal halfway house here in Milwaukee. I was a case manager there, an employment specialist, and there was a couple of programs that he had come out of his office that helped guys get jobs with
Yeah.
the city. And these guys are federal felons. Came out, got jobs. I'm thinking, okay, he's getting ready to bring a lot of that into what we're doing, in Milwaukee. But like you said, I haven't seen a whole lot of that going on. And I think that was a great pipeline for guys. Some of them guys I still see drive around city trucks today. They're still working, and that was 10 years ago. These guys are still working, still employed. I haven't seen a lot of that either. I thought I would, but I don't know.
I think on that topic though, the positions, obviously with Lafayette Crump, who's the commissioner over CDC, he's
Mhm.
brilliant, and he has a lot of, when I talk about innovative things that he's trying to do to bring the community around housing. Alderwoman Malele Coggs is a staunch advocate around housing policy and how the city can help support homeowners to prevent displacement and gentrification, but also how to get first-time homeowners into those areas. So there's work that's happening. There's leaders who are in place now who have come into office and doing stuff. It just takes time, and
Mhm.
when it takes time and people are struggling, and you see all these homes that are just sitting there, we're looking at it like, why aren't we doing anything? And I'm saying that it takes time to get that and build that place up. But
Mhm.
I do think that we have leaders in place now who are going down that road. We may not see the benefits of it for 5 to 10 years, but they're at least having those conversations now. And I think I'm confident and proud that the leaders are looking at it that way. I still think there need to be more.
Yes.
Yes. And we need to be a little bit more combative or assertive in how we deal with and approach some of the resistance. But that's politics. We have to figure out a way around that as well.
Definitely. Okay. Good topic. Tay, you got anything else you want to add to that?
I don't.
Okay. Yeah, because you be on it. You be on it. Okay. Cool. So we're gonna we got a few more minutes left here. I do want to touch on those Epstein files.
Yeah.
Here's my take on it. I find it hilarious, outright entertaining, that this fool is going this crazy, trying to do everything he can in his power, and I'm talking about y'all president, to not get those files released. Which leads me to believe there's some stuff in there. There's some stuff in them files. And I can't wait until they are released. Now, he done did what they call it, a 360 on it or whatever, because at first he was against, releasing them. Now all of a sudden, oh yeah, we're gonna release them all. We're gonna release them all now. What's your take on that, man?
I think they should release everything. If it were up to me, I would say they release stuff unredacted so that we can see all the names that are happening,
Yes.
Democratic or Republican. I think we get into these political, ideological debates on who these people are and which letters they wear or brand. But in reality, like, you guys are raping and kidnapping and doing things to children and unwilling adults, right? So that's wrong either way it goes. So if you're in it, you need to be held accountable, whatever side of the aisle you on. I think there needs to be more conversation around how did this become a bipartisan issue. This should be an issue that everybody is trying to get to the bottom of, so that we can hold these predators, is what they are, accountable.
Exactly.
Now for the Trump, he all over them damn things, and he's gonna do
All in there.
And but the thing is that even if they release it, he's just gonna lie, or fake news, fake media.
Yeah, right. It's a Democratic hoax, like you said.
Right, it's a Democratic hoax, right?
Like, really?
So he's gonna do what he does.
Yeah, how do you sue somebody over a hoax? You say like
Right. So the King of England, who has basically disbarred his brother, I don't think people are knowing, and the only reason why I know is I'm a nerd myself, and I love the British royal family. I can't tell you why. Don't ask me. It's been since I was 8 years old. But he has taken away his brother's title as a prince, which as some of us we may or not know is his birthright, because he was the son of a reigning monarch. So he had that birthright. He's taken away his other titles of dukedoms. He's taken away his military patronage. He was in the military, fought for Great Britain. He's taken away all of that. And but then you want to run around and say this is a Democratic hoax. So why would the king of the United Kingdom care that much that you literally disbarred your brother from your family? Like, they totally put him in exile. So that was kind of deep. I was like, whoa. But this is the Democratic hoax. Okay.
I just think it's important for people who are paying attention and waking up to this. It's not a hoax. This stuff is happening over 30 years. Over 30 years. And I was listening to the Karen Hunter show today, and they're saying like over 150,000 names on that list. These are people who are in high power society, who are making a lot of money, who are the leaders of this country on both sides, and business and all over the world. So just like, we can't be surprised by that. And I think that
at all,
that what it's really showing to me is that where we are as a country, where we have people who are seeing all this stuff happening, and then their first thought to is, how can I defend these people versus how can I defend the people who are victims of this, right? I think that is a failure in American society, because that's where we are in today's society. So that's sad to see. But I also, at the same time, I think that a lot of people, because people don't really pay attention, the more information that comes out, the more that we can do better communication around what's in those files. The House and Senate, I think the Senate actually voted today, are going to go tomorrow to release some stuff too, and then it's going to go to Trump's desk, and he's hopefully going to sign it. We'll see. But I think it inevitably is all going to change.
That's probably the day he's going to drop dead.
right as he signs it, before he gets to the end of the name, he's dead.
It's a lot of powerful people who are going to be in there. I'm anxious to see how we as a collective society react to that. And if we are going to be willing to really hold people to the fire and hold them accountable for their transactions.
Yeah, and again, like we was talking about earlier before we came on, I don't think it's going to sway his voters, because they are what I call them MAGA zealots. They are dug in hard. This man could literally probably be on tape raping people, and they would be like, "Oh, that's fake," that ain't nothing. That's AI. I really believe, and it's sad. I've never seen a group of folks this dug in on a person before, and I had to really step back and kind of look at that and say, okay, I know what it is. He's their vehicle for their racism.
Yep.
He's their vehicle for the racism. There's no other way.
We needed all of it.
Yeah.
We needed every bit that has happened.
Yeah.
To see who we were dealing with, see who we were next to, morally, principles. We saw everything. So I can appreciate it.
But did we not already really, speaking about him specifically, Trump, did we not already see that that's the type of man?
We saw it.
Yeah, we did.
But I think it helped us with our families understand who we were around. Because anybody still clapping for him, that's nobody to trust.
I don't mess around.
So, but he's enabled people to be their true selves.
The true selves, with all these ICE raids,
businesses. See how they rotate.
All that, the farm.
They would love to put up a whites only sign at this point. You know who you're dealing with.
That's wild.
It's good, but I think when I'm having these conversations, I always go back to like the old heads, and they were like, "Yo, we saw this before.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So this ain't nothing. We thought we were past it, but this is what they were doing in the 50s and 60s.
Oh yeah.
This is exactly who he is,
Oh yeah.
and what it was before them. So a lot of them are like, we've been here before.
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
really talks about Black people to our resistance to.
Mhm.
There was this whole thing around when he got elected, like all the Black women were in the buildings, just like minding their own business, sipping tea and shit, and just like
Yeah.
minding business. It goes to the resistance of the Black community, specifically the Black woman,
Mhm.
how they have had to over time kind of be the foundation and the rock for our community.
Yes.
It's going to be okay, and we're going to overcome all of this stuff because they've had to deal with it. So I think that there's a reason why we are sitting in the back and learning our two steps and doing our different things, while these white people out here are crazy right now because they haven't had to really deal with this type of injustice before. We have as a community. So,
Correct.
I think we deserve to sit back and let people feel the pain, and hopefully we'll make better decisions next time.
Yeah, it's not a I told you so for me, but I'll
I
definitely sit
told you
next.
so for me.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Well,
me too.
Well, no,
Definitely, I told you so.
okay, women are got to be a bit more gentle with it, but the people that were really advocating for, because they were mad at one person. Oh, she gets stamped, she don't do this, she don't do that.
Mhm.
But we talking about the masses. We talk, one person you see doing wrong has nothing to do with the rest. Like, come on now.
Well,
Single issue voters, like,
but
I
these
can't
people don't
stand
understand that too. So like, don't call me these numbers, but I think it was like 4 million white people are on food stamps.
Mhm.
It's only like 1.5
Yeah.
Black people
Yeah.
Mhm.
on food
But
stamps.
still,
Now, unfortunately, that's a lot, but
we get that stigma of
Right.
being, or Black women get the welfare
Mhm.
queen,
right.
tag.
The
It's
welfare
like,
queen wasn't even it was a white woman who they were actually saying was the welfare queen, and then they
Yeah.
put a Black woman's picture up there
Yeah.
in the media, and
Yeah.
that's how that happened there. So that goes back to like the history and people understanding, like, do you actually know the history of how welfare queens started?
well, that's why they want to, erase history.
Yep.
That's why they work so hard to do that.
Yep.
Keep people in the dark.
oh yeah, somebody just commented, with all he's done, they still vote for him again. Oh yeah, they don't. That I mean, his first term, Trump's first term was, a train wreck. I mean, what I don't get what more people could say. You just look at the
Stupidity.
first term. That shows you what we're gonna experience. Now this time it's gonna be his retribution campaign he's on now. Silencing networks and all this, and it's just it's wild. It's wild, but yeah, man, I really do hope something comes out of these files so we can read it. Like you said, hope they release them unredacted. But something tells me it's some trickery coming up here. It's coming. It's gonna be something else on top of that. Locally, real quick before we go, I do want to highlight this issue that's been talked about. Been seeing up and down my timeline on Facebook about the hanging of the guy in Brookfield.
Yeah. Now is that a real story? Because it's real.
Yeah.
Confirm.
Yeah, it's real. It's real.
Okay.
What was his race?
Quiet. I'm gonna say right now, I believe that he was Black.
Mhm.
I believe he was Black. The only reason why I think it is not being talked about a lot, because I think they know it's going to be a powder keg. If and whenever this gets some more attention and some more steam, yeah. I don't know. Again, I don't know why they haven't talked about it a lot, but it is a real thing. It did happen.
They say I heard again, I was trying to research because I saw it just popped up like on Sunday or Saturday,
Mhm.
and so I saw it online here and there, but I didn't see like any news coverage of it. So I'm trying to find out information. But I did see something again. I don't know if it's real. Night who said it was like they were saying it was suicide.
Yeah, it was suicide. I'm like,
Nah. They say that all the
all the time
time.
about the guy in Delta University, Mississippi. Like,
that
Every
was
last
in the
one.
yard, in the yard of the college there,
Yeah.
and
I-
I'm like,
I think it's important to say, I don't think it was suicide.
No.
I think that's nefarious on top. So
Yep.
I think that what we need to realize is that I allege, so I want to get y'all in trouble, these white nationalist organizations,
yes,
these white power knuckleheads
Yes.
out here, they are mobilizing across this country.
oh
You're
yes,
seeing more and more of these instances happening across the country.
Stand back and stand by. I'll never forget that one.
And we have to be aware of that, and we
Yeah.
have to be careful, and we have to make sure that we are in 2s and 3s when we're going out, especially when you're out in those communities like that. Waukesha. It's in Waukesha, right?
No, it was Brookfield.
Brookfield.
It was a golf course in Brookfield.
County.
Well, yeah, Waukesha County. Yeah, so
And it's on
yeah.
the golf cart. So
Yeah.
and I was just there a few weeks ago. So
Oh,
now
wow.
Oh, it's like, just shooting some balls.
Yeah, but it goes back to that white resistance.
Yeah.
These people are really upset, and they shouldn't be because they got all levels of power right
Yeah.
now. So I don't understand why there's so much hate and so much.
I think because we're not allowing them to do what they want to do.
That.
They're not. We're not complaining. Oh, let's do
right.
whites only stuff. We all
Right.
like, yeah, do that.
Yeah.
So we can do blacks only
Right,
stuff. Cool.
right.
Stay over there.
Joy Reid asked that question on the podcast she was just reading on. She was asking, like, white folks, why are y'all still angry?
Because they want us to fall in
Y'all
line.
business. If y'all would just leave us alone and let us do our own thing, let us build our own wealth, let us build our own communities,
We
you wouldn't
straight.
bother y'all
At all.
And our issues. But y'all always find a way to come into our communities and try to act like we don't have any agency over ourselves and try
Right.
to control everything we do. And that's part of the problem.
Yes.
But we just have to be careful because they are out here
Yeah,
and they are showing up. They feel enabled by this administration. They
definitely.
feel like they can get away with it. So we have to be careful.
Yes.
You ain't gonna find me out in no sticks nowhere by myself.
No.
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 So
No.
There was so many of them that think they're the exception.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about us black people, thinking that they're the exception, and they'll turn against us, against their own.
Oh,
Because
quick.
even with that snap part, we know how to eat. We know
Right.
how to figure it out together. You know what I mean?
how
so
y'all
we
think
really-
we got soul food?
Yeah, if we really came together, we could really, help each other out.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, definitely.
we just gotta stick together more. So
Definitely. Yeah.
like
Yeah, we
you said,
do.
it's scary regardless.
Yeah, it is. And I tell folks, and people don't realize this here in Wisconsin, the KKK is here.
Yeah.
everywhere.
They are definitely, and people look at me crazy.
They
Yeah.
just, somebody it was an influencer, but I think they were actual reporters, but I don't remember for exactly where. However, the MMA fighters, and there were some other fighters, have been getting together secretly
Mhm.
and planning like their KKK meetings, like
Oh,
some martial arts stuff.
I
Like,
mean,
I'm not surprised.
ain't surprised, right. I ain't surprised.
yeah, but
by
they were working in
At all.
diverse environments, so they were calling their employers to let them know, hey, did you know he attended this event?
Mhm.
Oh.
Wow, that's something.
But it was Dana White, the wrestle people.
Yeah.
UFC, yeah.
Yeah, so they were
UFC,
meeting
yeah.
up with MMA fighters.
It don't surprise me at all. Yeah.
It's everywhere. So
Yeah.
we just gotta be careful and
Definitely.
know that they're out there. We can't think that stuff is over. Like they are out here.
No.
Right.
And unfortunately,
all.
I feel like we're going to see more and more of these instances come up too.
The hanging?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think so.
Mhm, 'cause
What, the third or fourth one?
Yeah,
I've seen this year?
right. It's
Yeah.
it's definitely somebody said the former KKK Grand Dragon or Wizard lives in Mercer, Wisconsin. Oh yeah,
Mm.
Everywhere.
yeah. One last thing before we go, I do want to touch on this. This is a thing I've been seeing on Facebook on my timeline as well. I don't know why I know people do it for clickbait and likes and clicks and all that stuff, but I really want us as Black folks, I think we need to really take a step back when we take the decision to go online and trash a Black business. Especially when it tailors around someone trying to provide a service like people in the food industry.
Are you going shot? What's
No,
that?
no, but I don't like the fact when I see that, when people do things like that,
Yeah.
when you go on and start trashing like people that are opening up restaurants, people that are trying to do something different, because we complain. There's no Black restaurants in here. We ain't got no more soul food restaurants. I've seen so many different restaurants now popping up here in Milwaukee. Like it reminded me back in the 90s when you couldn't go 5 blocks without seeing some kind of Black-owned establishment somewhere.
I made a post about that, and with us having Jackson Soul Food,
Yeah.
a lot of the messages were, because if I had it, because if I was there, if I was cooking, if I was this, a lot of people have no idea what it takes to run a business, first of
No,
all.
they don't. No, they don't.
And my business partner and I, we share the same love when it comes to the community, so we don't even allow that to bother us.
Good.
And we actually came up with a plan to help more food vendors actually have that hands-on experience before they actually jump out. So we're
Mhm.
excited about that launch next year.
Good.
And
It's
we
needed.
don't allow that to set us back, because you have to understand. I mean, I posted about this earlier. You don't get offended once you understand your purpose.
Mhm.
And then once you understand the people that are coming at you with that hate, a lot of that is just misdirected anger, or they lack ambition and drive. And once you better see that, then you can operate better. You react better, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think of it as to be upset or anything. They just don't know better.
I just don't like to see it. I don't like to see us disparaging and tearing ourselves down like that, because then I don't see that same energy for these other big businesses. You don't see that. But y'all got all the energy in the world. Oh, I went to such restaurant and the food was this way. It was this way. Okay, well, why didn't you contact the owner? I've done that myself at a couple of establishment. It was a barbecue joint. I didn't like the barbecue. It was kind of rough.
Mhm.
I went and told him. He said, "Oh man, I'm sorry." He explained,
Yeah.
we got a new cook and blah, blah, blah. Okay, cool. And he gave me a comp meal free. Thanks for letting me
We
know.
are not against doing any of that. And
I don't get that.
I can eyeball a meal and know if I'm like it like that. You know what I mean?
Somebody said just because you eat food on camera doesn't make you a food. No.
Listen, they
Yeah.
our community thrives on negativity.
I just hate that, man.
That's the point.
And once we start getting
can't
likes
stand
and
that.
shares, you're talking about people that get no attention at all
I can't stand
Then
that,
they say
man.
something negative and there's a herd of people. Now they got that fame for 5 minutes.
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
When you're not accustomed to something, you'll do anything for
We
it.
gotta stop, man. We gotta stop.
Do you
I
know
just
a lot
can't
of those
stand
same
that.
people that were doing all that to us were in line? That 250 people
Mhm.
served them with love and a smile.
And it wasn't just y'all. I seen people do it for other restaurants.
But they
people
do
that
this.
it.
Those restaurants serve
they just
those
go around
people
and do
the
the same-
same way. You
Yeah.
can't stop your business because they clowning. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
you'll be with them.
I get it. People don't take offense to it. But I just hate seeing it. I'm thinking we could spend our time better used as building each other up.
Yeah.
If you got an issue, you enter a black establishment, you don't like it, go to that, find out who the owner is, and go to him. Just tell them, hey, I went here, it was dirty in here, or you have, I came in here, y'all got 5 people sitting there hanging outside, in front of your establishment. Tell people that. And I think honestly, if you go with somebody forthright and you let them know what's going on,
Respectfully, people.
Right, the most thing that's going to happen is they're going to probably look at it and do some changes.
Our people have confused
Facebook pennies, the monetization goes.
Why are you laughing?
I'm sorry, where you going?
No, our people have confused like the whole freedom of speech. Like they think everything is I get to say this, I get to do this. That's not how that works. Like have some decorum. Like they just come. Oh, I've been here 10 times. This one time was bad. Oh no. I gotta tell everybody that's not how you take care of business. First of all, and that's not helping us. Correct what's going on.
Mhm.
So, I mean, they get a kick out of it. I got a lady right now I can show y'all. She said I worked with her. This would have to been 7-8 years ago. And I only know this lady in passing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we was on the elevator together and I didn't smile that day or I don't know. But she wrote a Google review off of that.
Off of you?
For the restaurant.
Oh, wow.
From 8 years ago.
She told me, like, she was upset about that when it made some other stuff up. There's nothing I can do about that. You know what I mean? But this is the way it is.
Somebody said those Facebook pennies from monetization goes to their heads. Yeah.
Like, I will give you the $23.23. You know what I mean? Like,
it ain't much, right? You ain't getting much.
I just think sometimes our expectations are way too high.
At times, yes.
Your expectations should be high, but sometimes they're just like way up here. We expect more out of these black establishments than we do from other establishments.
Absolutely.
That's unfair to those owners because these business owners, especially in the restaurant, they're working hard. They don't take them a lot to make that first amount of profit. So they're usually in debt 4 or 5, 6 years before they even seen anything.
Right.
And they're trying their best to produce a product that's going to ultimately benefit the community that they're in. So we have to be, as a community, have more grace for those businesses, especially those startup businesses.
Especially when it's us.
We've been
already
open.
Got barriers.
We've been open 13 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
We single-handedly, we didn't get any donations, no nothing. Decided, hey, that SNAP thing is serious.
Yeah.
13-week business. We handed out all those meals, and we've been doing that every Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
we haven't, made a deal of it or anything.
You're at
It's just
Jackson's?
down the street on Final Act,
Yep.
6137. Just we just knew that's what needed to be done because we care, and blessings come back. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
That's community.
Yeah.
So while they doing all that, I mean, it's just what it is. But our people, I think we have to start holding those type of people accountable more,
Mhm.
Dorian.
Mhm.
When we see them doing that, hey, why you doing that?
Mhm.
Or did you contact really holding them accountable?
Yeah. Yeah. I just want to highlight that. I hate seeing it. I see it a lot more.
We support Black businesses.
Yeah, we should. We really should, because if people don't realize, there's barriers set in place for us to not get these opportunities.
Mhm.
There's stuff, and there's people right now that hate the fact that you've opened
Right.
a business. They will burn it all down to make sure you don't get it. And that's what white racists will do, as we see. They'll starve their own. Yep. To make sure, they don't. And I really do believe the reason why they were going after SNAP benefits like that, because they believe that it's going to hurt Black people.
And it hurt their own.
And it hurts their own. Oh yeah, I'm not going to do this because it's going to hurt them. They really believe that, but not realize you killing your own folks.
Because we gonna eat.
Right. We gonna eat.
Yeah.
We gonna show up.
Yeah.
Like, go to my mama's house.
Yeah.
House.
Grandma.
Down the street, like we gonna.
Yeah.
We gonna
Definitely
eat.
Yeah. So hey, thank you, Mr. Jordan. I'm gonna have you on again, man.
Yeah. Hey, this
I'm
is
gonna have you
fun.
on again. Yeah. I'm gonna do a shout out right now for Mr. Travis.
That's your Black conservative.
Is
Travis.
that the Black conservative?
Yes,
What?
Travis.
We can have a conversation.
Yes, I've been trying to get him back on. He's been ducking and dodging me.
Travis Jordan said, "Come talk to us."
Yeah.
So come on, Travis. I gotta have you back on, man, because we got some talking we got to do, because we still ain't got on you about them labor statistics, about this Trump admin's job put out. I want to talk about this shutdown, the farmers. We got a whole lot of
Well,
stuff.
he didn't see this turn coming. Travis probably ain't coming back.
Somebody said, please no. Oh yeah, I want Travis back here because he got an answer. Travis got an answer, and people been asking about Travis.
Well, not even Travis. I would invite any Black conservative that's still in support of this movement, the MAGA movement.
I want to hear y'all. I want to hear a entrenched Black MAGA. I want to hear y'all. So come on.
So can I just say one thing about that too?
Yes.
On Karen Hunter, I'm a big Karen Hunter fan.
Oh yeah, I love Karen Hunter. Yes.
She mentioned a couple of days ago.
Yes.
Actually, it wasn't Karen Hunter. It was Bakari Sellers on the Native Land podcast.
Okay.
And I'm sorry if I'm not supposed to be throwing these names.
No, you good.
No,
you
you
good.
He mentioned that.
I like when y'all be making this sound like real big. You know?
Yeah.
But he mentioned that what the Democrats expecting to do is we have to not discard that Black conservatism, because there's a reason why that 20%, 80% voted that way.
Yeah.
And we have to acknowledge that and figure out a way that we can bring them back on. And that's part of the conversation. Because sometimes they be off the damn wall saying some outlandish shit.
Oh man, bro.
You calm today. You did great. Okay, sitting next to him.
Yeah.
When I bring him in here,
it's
please
crazy.
clear your Tuesdays, man. I'm bringing Travis back.
Just keep Jordan on for just Tuesdays. Period.
Yeah, I'm bringing Travis back, and then you'll see. But yeah, I do get that. And I was just listening to Karen Hunter on the way here this evening, and she had a guy on there who was kind of saying, he was just a random caller. The guy was even saying, sometimes we do need to sit back and just hear them out and just listen. And then of course fact check as we going. But it is good to just hear where their mind is framed. Oh, my mama said he's entertaining. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's entertaining, but he's gonna run your blood pressure up.
Somebody said he wears me thin. Yeah, I know.
I'm finna tag him.
And that's why I love to have him on. Yeah. Honestly, just to hear that, because I'm liberal, so I want to hear that. I want to hear that side. I want to hear why. It's another one that's out there. I think his name is Orlando Orlando Jones. Locally? Yeah, local. He's another one of these MAGA stumpers.
Oh, it's somebody you know?
I don't know him, but me and him had a back and forth one time when he was at Juneteenth, and the Republican Party had a booth there, and I went in. I'm like, and whoever running Juneteenth, could y'all please, before we go off, I got to put this out there. Juneteenth, folks, please stop inviting the Republican Party to have a booth at Juneteenth. Please.
Whose idea was that?
Please. I don't know whoever's in charge of Juneteenth. Please stop that.
The Republicans didn't even want Juneteenth around. Why would
Correct. They didn't want to make it a national holiday.
Right at
Nothing.
MLK and North.
Yes.
Like, right.
And that pisses me off every time I drive past here to see that. I'm gonna tell y'all.
But they didn't even want
I'm
Juneteenth.
tell y'all a real story. Yeah, no, they didn't.
He
I'm
dropped the
tell y'all a
kids to
story I
live. Why
did.
were they there?
And I can't get in trouble now because it happened. But Scott Walker was running for re-election against Tony Evers the first time, and I was driving down. So I was living in around 19th and Atkinson during the time, driving up Atkinson, I could say, and I see these Scott Walker signs up and down Atkinson. So I'm gonna tell y'all what I did. I got out my car and took every last one of them and threw them in the garbage.
Do you think they knew they were out there, or did they just like put them out there?
I think people was putting them out there to try to select
What?
folks. Scott Walker signs, yeah.
So here's what I learned too. There's a lot of business and property owners in those areas who support Scott
Mhm.
Walker. So they come through.
But it's mad
and
at me.
They fill them up on the yard. You see them all
Mhm.
out in Brown Deer and those different areas where a lot of our community rents from, and they don't own those spaces. So and they also recognize that for the most part, our community is not paying attention to that level to that. So if they're in the voting booth and they see Scott Walker at the time, they don't know who Scott Walker versus Tom Evers is for the most part.
And it was by a voting area, St. Mark's Church right there on Atkinson. That's a voting area. And it was the signs was like right over in there. I'm like, nope. Man, I rode through Atkinson all the way up until I think we got to Port Wash. I took all them signs in my car. I was throwing them. No, get this out of here because you ain't finna. No.
I don't think we're gonna have any problems though voting
No.
around this time. They
No.
took them snaps.
Yeah, whoever's running Juneteenth, y'all,
That's
if y'all know them,
ridiculous.
please stop inviting the Republican Party to have a booth there. Just stop. If y'all still their name asking for a booth, all money ain't good money.
Oh, I'm
Um,
tripping because I was
just
on the committee. I didn't hear that.
They there every year. So who being that guy?
Last year
Got
I
into
was there
it.
at the beginning. I don't remember them saying Republican.
It was there. Yeah, they was there. And I asked the guy, I asked
It's
him,
like bought a booth, right? You can just
Yeah, they must have slid in on the low.
yeah, they've
Then,
been there.
the money got a little crunch.
They've been there 3 or 4 years straight.
Well, they must slide in at the end.
And one year I went up to him and I said, "What the hell are y'all doing here?" That's
What?
literally what I asked him. I said, "What the hell are you doing here?"
It was the year before last.
And it was
I
a bunch
would've
of
tripped about
of black men in there under the tent.
What?
Well, that's the point. Like, that's an issue that we have to dissect and study and figure out what that is.
Stockholm syndrome.
I
well,
get that.
well, why don't you find out what booth that was and invite them?
Yeah.
You say what now?
Find
I
out
know
what,
it was. I think his name was Orlando Owens. I'm gonna look it up.
but invite
I
him.
went back, so I'm gonna ask him. They be scared to come on, but we're gonna let him in.
You think so?
Yeah, I'm gonna invite him.
I mean, they got a booth on Juneteenth. I don't think they scary.
I guess we'll see. I'm gonna put the invite out there, but Jordan, keep your Tuesdays open, man.
Yeah.
We're gonna get Travis. We're gonna definitely get Travis here.
Yeah, I would love to see that. Look, Travis, I'll buy you some dinner for that.
With a Jackson's meal on you.
Yeah.
I don't bite Travis. I just want to have a good conversation.
hmm
And talk to you.
I'm
That's
glad
gonna
you
be
just
fun.
did that. I'm gonna run that clip right next to the one where you be like, Travis is a piece of work.
Man, he definitely is, and I think he just throws stuff out there to get us all.
His
riled
mama
up,
probably be
honestly.
shaking her head. Like, get my
Honestly,
son
I really
off.
do think he does that to us, but whatever's clever. It makes it fun. It makes it fun. But hey, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in this night. We had a really good conversation. Thank you, Mr. Jordan, for coming in, man.
Thank you for
Man.
having me. This has been great. I had
Yes.
a great time.
Yes.
Again, let me know when you want me back.
Yes.
I have it in my schedule. I'll make sure to be here.
Okay.
and have this conversation because it's needed. We need to be
Yes,
having
Lord.
more of these conversations,
Definitely.
especially going into 2026. It's a midterm election year. And to your point, we have to make sure that the community stays engaged and gets
Mhm.
out to vote next time.
Yeah, definitely. Voting matters.
Yep.
As we see what happens.
They
Blue
gonna take your
wave.
stamps.
Blue wave. All right, y'all. Y'all be easy. Take it easy, and y'all have a good night.
All right. Bye, Mom. I see you online. See you later. I see you.